Welcome back to the Morse Please podcast. I am your co-host, Jacob, and I'm here with my other two co-hosts.
Hello.
Hello.
Did you
Sorry.
see the Morse Please podcast?
Did
Morse,
I?
please.
The Morse
did.
Please, the More Sports Please podcast. I am sorry.
S'mores, please. I would like
S'mores,
one.
please. More s'mores, please. Sorry. My
You're good.
speaking was not good. It's
You're
been a
good.
minute. Last time we saw you guys was on the draft. Episode 1 live reactions, which went well. And since then we have not uploaded, so there's been changes to the room. In case you can't see it, I got those pictures. I got those jerseys finally in frames. I'm rocking a Juju Smith shirt. A Juju Smith shirt. A Juju Smith Schuster USC jersey.
You're doing great.
Jesus.
You do.
I don't know why I can't talk tonight.
It just happens sometimes. It happens to the best of us.
I guess it's so.
I'm laying in bed at home.
Gavin's
Yeah,
going
a
to
lot's
bed.
been going down. We're not even. Gavin and I aren't even in the same house we were in when we did the last episode.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is a factual statement.
Their colleges are letting out. I yawned during that whole sentence. Their colleges are letting out. So
I thought
colleges
you said they let us down.
their colleges are letting us down. So they're getting ready to end their Jacob's sophomore year of college, or Jacob's junior year of college, Gavin's sophomore year, right?
Yeah, those are wrapped.
Sophomore.
So Jacob will be a senior in college, and Gavin's now a junior in college.
We don't talk about senior year.
Gavin's girlfriend
don't
just
talk about-
graduated college. Congratulations, Swingo. If you ever listen to these podcasts, I doubt you do.
Oh yeah, congrats.
Congratulations, Swingo. If she wants to hear that, it's about around the 2-minute mark if you want to tell her.
Congrats.
So, and yeah, let's get
Also,
into this.
congrats to Herbert on the new wheel that he got for the NASCAR game. If you want to show the audience.
What? Okay, there's my wheel. Don't know. If you see me just reaching down, I'm just fucking with this wheel right here because I have a habit of fidgeting, so I'll probably just fuck with this wheel a lot.
If you see me glancing up a bunch, it's because I'm watching the Vegas Knights in a playoff game that is not going well.
And the Pens just won, so they tied the series 1-1 against the Islanders.
We're trying to do that.
It's because I'm here.
And how are the Flyers doing in playoffs?
Yeah, we're doing great. Honestly, we haven't lost yet. We haven't lost a
but
game.
you haven't won
That
yet
is
either.
true. They are undefeated.
They haven't won yet either.
Can't say that.
So
We haven't either. So 0-1 so far.
But let's get into this. Since we're talking about the NHL playoffs, why don't we start off with NHL today first? Since we're already on the
mixing it
topic,
up.
we're gonna mix it up a
Mixing it
little bit.
up.
We're gonna start NHL, then we're gonna go to NBA, and then we're gonna end with the NFL.
That's a little hot wild. I don't know if we can handle that.
But we're gonna
It'll be interesting for sure.
change the script.
Oh,
He said, "I think I might have to go," and then he went. Yeah, Gavin's
did.
flag is German. In our big Discord, we have a theme of languages. So Gavin picked German, Jacob picked Dovahkiin, and mine is NFL Playbook.
NFL playbook.
But
oh crap! Breakaway! Oh my God, we can't score.
we can't score. But we're gonna get into this. So the NHL playoffs just started here recently. What are you guys' opinions on the NHL playoffs, Gavin? If you've been watching any?
I haven't been watching any NHL playoffs, not gonna lie. Don't really have a stake in it. But yeah.
Understandable. I haven't really watched much aside from the Vegas game the other day and the one that's on right now, and tidbits of Pens games because they're always on before us. So, yeah, I don't know about your series, Herbert, but for us, it's been a whole lot of just goaltending just being absolutely insane. There's been one goal so far in 4 periods and an overtime. So
Maybe
little-
maybe in game 2. Game 1 was no. Jari couldn't stop shit. We lost that game 4-3 in overtime.
geez.
That's also what I wanted to point out. 3 of the first 4 games went to overtime. Yeah, 3 out of the first 4 games went to overtime. The only one that
I
didn't.
think that was a first in NHL history. They said.
It's crazy. I'm trying to figure out which ones did. They're talking game 2s, but it was the Caps and Bruins, Pens and Islanders, Vegas Knights, Golden Knights and Wild, and I think it was the Lightning and Panthers that didn't. Lightning leads 2-0, so they won today.
I didn't realize they played already.
Yep, they played earlier probably.
I know
The
that game was wild.
Caps and Bruins are tied 1-1. Minnesota still leads the series 1-0 because you guys are in game 2 right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the final overtime. The Flyers are not in playoffs, therefore there was no overtime counting.
Hey.
How far back did I accidentally scroll? Jesus.
I can't tell you.
Round 1, there we go. So overtime. Yeah, it was the Lightning and Panthers, and even then it was 5-4. So pretty close. And then the
Jeez.
Bruins and Caps went into overtime again on game 2. Damn. So they went to overtime twice. Hurricanes won yesterday 5-2 against the Nashville Predators. The Avalanche went up 4-1 against the St. Louis Blues, so they take a 1-0 series lead. Like I said, the Penguins, the Lightning won. So yeah, the only one I think that hasn't started yet is the Jets and the Oilers, because the Jets had a lot of games to finish out. Or no, it was the Oilers. It was both teams. Same thing with the Canucks and the Flames. They still have a regular season game tomorrow.
Neither of them are in the playoffs, so they're just playing for no reason, basically.
That's why even play at that. I mean, I get why I play at that point, but it's like
they played today too, and they played Sunday.
Yeah, I know that the Leafs and the Canadiens, and then the Edmonton and Winnipeg. So all the Canadian teams, they haven't started their playoff series yet.
Jets and Oilers, and then the Canadians and Maple Leafs.
Because of Canada rules with COVID, or
it was because of the Canucks COVID situation. They had an outbreak that was so bad that they basically had to play 20 games and 18 games in 35 days. I don't remember what it was. It was a really small span of time. They had a bunch of back-to-backs and stuff, and basically they had to play against almost everybody. So all of Canada was backed up because of the Canucks.
Oh my God, that sounds like it wasn't tolling on their body at all.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. They're professionals.
I could do that. You're just skating around and hitting a puck. I don't know.
It's literally that easy. I don't know. The other day I was doing I put together predictions. I haven't really watched anything outside of Vegas games just because I don't have much time to. And technically they're still all good because I didn't call for any sweeps, so everything can still happen, but I don't know how good I feel about these now at this point. At least out east, Herbert, I feel like you'd know better than I would on your opinion on these picks at least. But I had Washington over Boston in 7 games.
Safe
and
bet.
I have the Pens. I have the Pens over the Islanders in 6.
Another safe bet.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people picking the Bruins over Washington, and I'm not really sure why. I think that Boston's about done. I think their team's pretty old, and I mean, Washington still has Ovechkin.
Yeah.
And so.
But here's the thing with being a Pittsburgh fan, you don't normally win in Boston a lot. So I would rather play the Caps than the Bruins. So I would also I would love to take Washington, but I think Boston pulls it out. And if Boston can get past Washington, Boston's going to get past us. With even though we literally would have to win in Game 7 because we're not taking any games in Boston.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, obviously that Washington-Boston series has been really close. They went to overtime twice.
Right.
And you guys have already traded a game apiece with New York. That East is really competitive. And
with New York.
Do what?
They traded with New York mid-playoffs.
They traded with them. They decided to take their house. They're moving into their arena. They said you can't have it unless you beat us in a playoff series. But I did that. And then I think I pretty much, for the most part, called on all the higher seeds to win. I know that the NHL has a crap ton of upsets, but I don't know which ones to call out. I came out and said that the Blues would beat the Avs in 6 games, though, but I don't feel very good about that. Or not the Avs. The Blues would beat the Avs in 6 games, and that could just be because I now don't like Colorado. They stole our trophy and division title, but I'm not mad. I swear I'm not mad.
Maybe the Knights should have played better.
You know, we should have gotten another point at some point. Just one.
I'm taking out of the right side. I'm taking Pittsburgh out of their division.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to take the Lightning out of theirs. Whoops. Then I'm going to take... That whole series hasn't even started yet. I don't even know if I could pick one. I guess for now I picked the Maple Leafs since they're rocking with the 1. I haven't watched any of them. And then out of your guys', I want to take the Golden Knights, but I think I'm going to take the Avalanche.
I mean, I don't even right now feel comfortable with my predictions saying Vegas would even get out of the first round. Like, Minnesota is giving us a crap ton of fits. And
Vegas to the finals.
I hope that happens. I think if Vegas can get through this series, I think they have a great shot. Whoever comes out of the West, I think, has a good chance between Vegas and Colorado, but both teams have to get through. And I don't know. Minnesota's always had our number, and I remember throughout the whole last month or so of the season, I was just really hoping Vegas would stay away from playing Minnesota in the first round. And then we got paired up against them, and I was not thrilled about it, but I kind of looked at it as like, you know, trying to win the Stanley Cup, trying to be world champs, you got to be able to beat anyone. So if you can't beat Minnesota, you don't deserve to win the chip. So just got to go out there and do what we got to do. But going to have to play a little better than we have so far. This first period did not go very well, and we need – at least it's still tied, though. No score yet. Marc-Andre Fleury's a god, and that's all I have to say on that. But
I honestly think the 4 teams out of the almost in the Metropolitan Division, that's not what they're called anymore. Because they've realigned everything. They're just
the
East, right?
Yeah.
If out of the East, any of those teams coming out, I think have a pretty good shot of making the finals.
I think, God, this is so wide open. Like, I think the East is going to just continue to be a bloodbath. Canada, I've got no idea. I mean, Toronto, I think, could either be really good or flop. I mean, they haven't won a playoff series in 15 years. They're due. Like, I feel like they're due for a deep run. Carolina's super good. Florida and Tampa are just going to continue to beat the crap out of each other. It's so competitive.
On our screen, you lag.
What was the last?
On our screen, you
I
lag.
lagged.
You went,
Oh.
It's definitely competitive.
Definitely competitive. Oh, there he goes again.
Yeah, it's just competitive.
It's just that competitive.
Hello?
I hear you.
We good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. All right.
Your
Yeah. Sorry. I'm gonna
body's
hop off
trying.
my.
Your body's trying to catch up to your voice.
You know, that's gonna happen sometimes, and that's
TikTok.
TikTok.
So yeah, moving on. We can't really predict anything a whole lot with the NHL because one of the fucking series, two series haven't started. One whole side of the fucking bracket. But
Who's your right now? Who is your Stanley Cup champion?
Penguins.
Okay. I think I've still got to go with. Do I go with Colorado? Fuck it. Toronto. Why not?
Any given Sunday.
I want Vegas, but I'm trying to keep realistic. I want to see us actually do better in this series. But if it's not the Golden Knights, why not Toronto? Leafs are due. Canada's due.
Vegas Golden Knights.
I appreciate you having faith in my team.
In my heart and in my soul.
Shut up. Next, we're going to be moving on to the NBA playoffs. That has just started. So,
Yes.
Easy predictions. There's two clear-cut teams that'll make the finals. Or are they? With injuries and everything, I think both sides are pretty wide open. Don't give me the KD, Kyrie, James Harden, the best Nets team, the best team to ever play basketball, yada, 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 nonsense. That team could lose any day because Kyrie just ups and stops wanting to play, and KD gets hurt, and James Harden has a bad game. You got to think of those three players on that team. KD, great in playoffs. You ain't got to worry about him. Kyrie, does he show up, have a personal day? Is he religious? And James Harden has never shown up in playoffs. He's not been good. Am I right?
I mean, yeah, but I don't really have anything to go up against that. What is his current injury situation also? Like, I forgot.
I don't know. I haven't been watching too much basketball.
Okay.
The finals are the Lakers and the Nets. I'm done watching basketball. I don't want to watch.
Oh yeah, I feel you. If the finals are Lakers and Nets, that shit is stupid. The Lakers are in a play-in game against the Warriors, who they very well could lose that game.
That game could. I low-key am thinking this first game might. Lakers have to. They'll get another chance if they lose.
Right.
I think Steph goes off. I really do.
Steph's been on fire. Steph's been making a case for MVP.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think he's higher up there than Joel.
No.
I think Steph will win MVP. After the numbers he's been putting up, everybody's calling him the MVP of the league. So.
Dad, who is everyone?
LeBron.
Name one. LeBron doesn't matter. Who is he?
LeBron doesn't matter.
LeBron doesn't matter. Gavin Science 2021.
LeBron James. I've never heard of him.
I think Curry wins MVP.
I think Embiid.
Yeah, but you were saying Embiid week 1 after he put up 10 points or something.
I was saying MVP Embiid since week 1, yes. And I'm going to stick through that through the entire season.
So this is what the playoffs look like in case you guys haven't seen it. Jazz is at the 1 seed, the 8 seed. So the Jazz will either play the Warriors, Lakers, Grizzlies, or Spurs. And then it's the Clippers and Mavericks at 4th and 5th, Nuggets and Trailblazers at 3rd and 6th, and the Suns will either play the Lakers or Warriors. And the 76ers are on the 1 seed on the other side. They'll either play the Pacers, Celtics, or Wizards because the Pacers already beat the Hornets, so the Hornets are out.
Yeah.
4th and 5th seed, my underdog seed, the one to watch out for. 4th seeded Knicks against the 5th seeded Hawks. Watch out for those Knicks. That'll be my underdog story. I got taking them to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm just
Bruh.
kidding. And then it's a third-seeded Bucks, 6th-seeded Heat, and then the 2-seeded Nets will either play the Celtics or Wizards. So I'll predict my playing games. I got the Pacers winning that one. Get it? Because it already had. Gavin, what are you doing?
What do you mean? What am I doing?
Are you playing mobile game?
No, I'm looking at the NBA playoffs.
Oh.
Is he playing a mobile game? I'll play a
Why
mobile
did
game.
my face light up? Because my screen gets bright.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to
You're
find
good. You can keep looking at them. I just didn't know what you're doing.
No, I'm playing Terraria.
Oh, during a podcast.
Yeah.
But I got the Pacers beating the Hornets. I got Wizards beating the Celtics. The Celtics going to play the Pacers, and then I have the Pacers beating the Celtics.
I forgot that other game, Wizards Celtics, is on right now. What is even happening? I didn't even think about it.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Because I was watching 188 Celtics right now.
Oh, the never mind. I take my fucking Wizards pick away. So I got the Celtics beating the Wizards just because they're up by, what, 12?
right now. Yeah.
So if they beat the Wizards, I think they can beat the Pacers. I think so it doesn't even matter. The Wizards would drop down to the 8th seed and play the Pacers. I think the Wizards could beat the Pacers there. I think the Celtics get the 7th seed and the Wizards get the 8th seed. Now on the other side of the bracket, I have the Grizzlies beating the Spurs for that seed. So they'll go to the winner of the 9 and 10. And then I've got the Warriors beating the Lakers to take the 7th seed, and then the Lakers beating the Grizzlies. So I have the Lakers going to the 7th seed or 8th seed to play the Jazz, and the Warriors going to the 7th seed to play the Suns. So that wraps up the playoffs. So then I got the Lakers beating the Jazz in 4 games. The 8th seeded Lakers beating the 1st seed Jazz, specifically because Donovan Mitchell will not be playing. You're not beating the number 1 defense with just Rudy Gobert. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know where the Lakers fall, either the 7 or 8 seed. I don't see them not making the playoffs.
Right.
But I like the Warriors' chances against the Lakers in 1 game just because Steph can take over on any given night. I am not picking against LeBron in a playoff series in the first round. I don't care what seed he is. I don't care who he's playing. I've got the Lakers getting out of the first round at the very least. I mean, they're just... And like you're saying with the Jazz, they've only got Rudy Gobert there. And, I think that's a rough matchup for them. I think the Suns would give them a tougher matchup.
Oh, yeah.
Just because Chris Paul has been great and that entire team has been popping off all season. But
they don't. I think, if anything, the Lakers could get out of 6 or 7 games there, but they're not getting. I think, honestly, they could really win just 4 against the Jazz.
Gavin, what are you thinking right now with the playoffs?
Playoffs? You want me to give my prediction?
And then I'll wrap up mine real quick. Yeah. And then I got Clippers in 6 games against the Mavericks. Then I've got the Nuggets in 5 against the Trailblazers because Dame can't show up. And strike that. Dame can show up, but he doesn't win. Unless it's against Russell Westbrook. When you put 2 bad playoff teams together, one of them is bound to win.
It's usually going to be the one with the best player on the court.
Right. And then,
which is usually Dame.
And then I have the Suns in 6 games against the Warriors because I think Curry makes it interesting, but I still think they get out of there. I've got the 76ers in 4 games over I'll say 5 games over the Wizards because I think Russell Westbrook give him a run for your money in at least 1 game. They might not even beat the Pacers. You got to remember, this is playoff Westbrook.
Mm-hmm.
So they might not even get in.
Well, there is Bradley Beal still.
True. And then I got the Knicks. I got the Knicks in 4 against the Hawks.
That's a little bold. I like it.
The New York Knickerbockers.
I got the Knicks in 4 against the Hawks, and then this is the series that'll run deep. I've got the Heat in 7
Oh yeah, Milwaukee.
against Milwaukee. I got the Heat in 7 against Milwaukee, and then I've got Nets in 4 against the Celtics. Zero chance do the Celtics stand a chance.
Milwaukee's wild in that I feel like they could either make the finals or lose in the first round, and I don't know which it's going to be. I don't know.
No, yeah, if they can get past the Heat, they could definitely give the Nets a run for their money, but I don't think they'll get past the Heat. There's just something about that Jimmy Butler run last year that really made that Heat team great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he could do it again.
Mickey Mouse Eastern Conference Final. No, I'm kidding.
If anything, it's Mickey Mouse Western Conference. That Nuggets team ran all the way to the Western Conference Finals just to get what, swept?
About, yeah.
About.
Gavin, what you got?
All right. So I might need help keeping track of this because I'm doing this on the fly.
Well, I just did the first games. I didn't keep going.
Yeah, I'm just doing first round when I do it too.
Okay, cool. So on the west side, I'm gonna take
Wrong. Go ahead.
I'm taking Memphis in 6. Then I'm gonna take the Lakers in 5.
Memphis in 6 against who?
Wait, what?
You're taking Memphis in 6 games against the Spurs, even though they play 1?
So those are your 2 teams coming out of there?
Yeah, those are the play-in games.
I was reading that wrong. I was like, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna take Memphis in 1 actually.
So you think Memphis? So Memphis would go to the winner of the 9 and 10,
and then the 7 and 8. Or
yeah, it'll be so you have Memphis beating the Spurs, and then you have the Lakers beating the Warriors, right?
Yes.
So then it'd be for the 8th seed. It's Memphis and the Warriors.
Yeah, and then the Warriors would win that.
So the Warriors would go to the 8th seed. So you got the Lakers at 7, Warriors at 8.
Okay, Lakers at 7, Warriors at 8. And so Utah versus the Warriors, correct?
Right.
Yes.
All right, I'll take the Warriors in 7.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Warriors in 6.
I think the Warriors and the Lakers, those two specifically, whoever ends up against that Jazz team could really come out of there.
Yeah. Okay. And then it would be Phoenix and Memphis, right?
Phoenix and Lakers.
Phoenix and Lakers, yeah, sorry. I lose track of my own predictions. I'll take the Lakers in like 5. Denver and Portland. What?
Good. I mean, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
The Lakers. You're taking the Lakers against the Suns.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I think the Lakers can go all the way.
Your mother.
You what?
Your mother.
That's not what I was talking about. And then I'm gonna have the Clippers in 6. I'm gonna have the Nuggets in 4. I don't believe in the Trailblazers. And then the East side. All right, so the Pacers won tonight. It looks like Boston's gonna also win tonight.
So then it'd be Pacers and Washington.
And I'm gonna have Washington winning that. So it's gonna be
Washington and the Sixers, and then Celtics and Nets.
Okay. I'm gonna take Nets in 4. And I'm gonna take Sixers in 6. Haha, Sixers in 6
against the Washington the Washington basketball team.
Washington basketball team, yeah. They got Bradley Beal, and they got Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook is shit in playoffs.
I think I don't really like Russell Westbrook anyway, but you never know with the Sixers. They always always manage to give me a heart attack no matter what.
Yeah.
Take the Knicks in 5. And then, I'm gonna go. It's gonna go Game 7 with Milwaukee and Heat, but I'm gonna take the Bucks
Okay.
with Giannis and Antetokounmpo.
I did the bugaboo.
Nice.
That's
That's a
I actually have
Tecumpo.
Memphis. I'm
Huh?
retracting my Memphis in 1. I'm taking Memphis in 7. For
I
The
take it.
NBA the
tournament.
NBA sees Memphis beat the Lakers and they get so mad about it that they rig it to make it so the Lakers just have to win one time in 7 games for LeBron to make the playoffs. So I will preface it by saying that my predictions so far are really bad because I had the Hornets over the Pacers because, frankly, I thought the Pacers were the worst team in the NBA playoffs this year.
The worst team in the NBA.
The worst team in the NBA. They were terrible. I thought LaMelo was going to take that game over, but
To that game. Why was it such a blowout? Like, what happened? I didn't watch it.
I don't know. I saw like the first 5 minutes of it, and the Pacers were already up like 14-5 or something. So they were up from the get-go. It seemed like, but I liked Charlotte with LaMelo, but that didn't work out. And Celtics Wizards was. I was thinking Celtics in reality, but I kind of wanted the Wizards to win so that Philly could get Boston because I really wanted to play the Celtics.
I want Boston. I want to sweep Boston.
It'd be beautiful. Well, we'll have to face them in the Eastern Conference Final now.
Yep.
So, it's that easy. It'll be fine. But with those results having happened, I like the Wizards against the Pacers for that final play-in game to get the 8 seed. I trust Bradley Beal and the Wizards more, though Pacers showed up, Wizards didn't. We'll see what happens in that one game, but that is literally do or die, so we'll see what happens with that. But I've got Wizards in the 8th seed and the Celtics in the 7th seed. Philly against Washington, I'm probably going to go with the Sixers sweep. I think that they're going to have a couple close games in there, but I think it's just going to be Embiid and Philly in the clutch. Just getting it done. Brooklyn against Boston. Assuming they're healthy, I like Brooklyn in a sweep as well. I don't really see much of a chance that there's upsets there on that side of on the Eastern Conference. Excuse me. Knicks Hawks. I don't know. That's going to be really fun just because. Excuse me. So many players I think are going to be making their playoff debuts and stuff. But I do like the Knicks. They are playing really well down the stretch. They fought hard to get that home court advantage. I like Knicks in 7 at Madison Square Garden. I think that'll be a great way for them to round it out is at a home court in a Game 7. Exercise their demons. And with the Heat and Bucks, I was saying a couple weeks ago that I think from what I saw from the Bucks, I think they're a team on a mission. I think they've choked a lot over the last couple years, and I think that that's a team that is going to be playing out of their minds trying to succeed where they've been failing. So I like Milwaukee coming out here trying to get revenge. And I'm going to say in 5. I'm going to say they come out and just blast the Heat. I think Giannis is going to try to play on another level, and they're going to go absolutely insane against Miami.
What?
What?
Even Aurora said, meow.
Well, she says to anything. On the Western side, this is where stuff gets really fun. Lakers Warriors, as I was. What?
Is it really where it gets fun?
You know what? No, I'm a Sixers fan. I don't like the West.
Not.
The Lakers and Warriors, I was saying a little bit ago, I like the Lakers in a 7-game series, but I think Steph's going to take over on any given night. I like Golden State in that one game, so I think the Warriors get away with the 7 seed. Grizzlies Spurs, I got to go with the Grizzlies. I don't really have much faith in San Antonio this year, and they won 2 of their last 10 games, so there's not much reason to have much stock in San Antonio. Lakers Grizzlies, I think LeBron and AD, they're not missing the playoffs. They're not gonna. There's no reason to pick against them. In that 1 versus 8 matchup, it's the same way. I'm not picking against LeBron. He is not losing in the first round. I don't care if it's the 1 seed. I don't care if it's the 8 seed. He's not going to lose in the first round. I'll take LA in. I'll give him 5. I respect what the Jazz have, and Gobert is playing well, but it's playoff LeBron. Warriors versus Suns. I'll take the Suns in 6. I think Steph makes it a series, and if they had Clay, I think they'd probably win that series. But
if they have Clay, they don't need a play-in game.
Well, exactly. I know. I'm just saying if this matchup occurred, I think that would push them over the top. But I think that Steph continues to play out of his mind, but I think the Suns are just going to beat them with numbers. Blazers, Nuggets. I think that's one of the series I'm most torn on. I think I got to go with. I got to roll with the Nuggets. I love Dame. I think I'm scared. I'd be scared to face him in the playoffs as any team. But stop with the.
You're like, are you really about to pick the Trailblazers?
I got to go with the. I'm just thinking Portland is going to get some good game out of Dame, and I don't know how much I actually trust the Nuggets, but Jokic, he's probably going to win MVP. I got to take Denver. I'll give that 5 games. Clippers, Mavs, I think that goes 6. And I'm going to take the Clippers, so we finally get the Battle of LA in the second round of the playoffs. A little underwhelming, but it'll finally happen.
Yeah, get it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, get it, I guess. I presume.
So that is our
playoff predictions.
Playoff predictions for the NBA and NHL that we did. So baseball, we'll kind of touch on that. Baseball's happening. They're hitting balls. They're doing wow.
And going back to full capacity soon.
That is true. Yes. That is the truest thing you've ever said. What? I said that is the truest thing you ever said, and you said name.
Name one thing I've said.
That the NBL are going to full capacity.
The NBL.
The NABL.
The MLB. So moving on to the NFL topic. So big news came out yesterday. Was it yesterday? yesterday that former Washington football team linebacker Ryan Kerrigan said, and signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. Wrong Pennsylvania team, but he signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. There were 3 teams in the running for Ryan Kerrigan. Ironically, they're all here. All 3 of our teams wanted Ryan Kerrigan, and he chose the shitty green.
Hey,
He didn't pick the winning gold. Yellow.
he know what he wanted. He wanted to stay in that NFC East.
He said, "Thank you, Washington, for everything you've done. I love this organization. Now let me play it 2 times a year."
Probably hates the organization. I'm not gonna lie. It seems like people who come out of the organization don't like it.
But he said thank you and everything, and that he loved the organization for everything they've done for him. Oh, well, look at me. I'm Ryan Kerrigan, and I was a Redskin, and then I was a football teamer, and now I'm an Eagle.
We can't say that.
But yeah, I was like not expecting that at all. I kind of forgot Ryan Kerrigan existed until
I was going to say, I kind of forgot who he was. You said, Ryan Kerrigan's an Eagle, let's go. I'm like, who's that again? Where'd he play?
This reminds me a lot of when we signed Chris Long in 2017. I'm not saying we're going to win the Super Bowl this year, but I do like that veteran addition to the team, to that defense. Can give guys a lot of.
So clearly Pittsburgh's in the running for an edge rusher. So Pittsburgh is in the market for an edge rusher, obviously, if they wanted Ryan Kerrigan.
Yeah.
So Pittsburgh, if you hear this, there are 2 guys I would like. Justin Houston, Melvin and Melvin Ingram.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stroke.
I almost said Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon.
They're running back. Melvin Ingram or Justin Houston. Give me either. Give me either in the black and yellow.
What about Bud Dupree?
Well, he's gone. He's gone.
Oh,
he's gone.
Speaking of Bud Dupree being gone, the draft.
The draft did happen.
Aurora Cam.
Hi, Aurora.
We can go over draft recap, what our players picked and what our team picked and what players we're looking forward to the most. So let's not spend too much time on it. So let's get into it now. The Pittsburgh Steelers draft win is followed. In the first round, we took Najee Harris. Second round, we took Pat Freiermuth. Third round, we took Kendrick Green. Fourth round, we took Dan Moore Jr. Fifth round, we took Buddy Johnson. Sixth round, we took Isaiah Loudermilk. No. Fifth round, we took Isaiah Loudermilk. Fifth round, we took... No.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Hold on. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, fifth round, we took Buddy Johnson. Fifth round, we took Isaiah Loudermilk. Sixth round, we took Quincy Roach. Seventh round, we took Trey Norwood. And seventh round, we took punter Presley Harvin III. I'm really excited for this punter.
Yeah.
He's a big guy that could fake punts. That could throw deep.
He's the big one. He can kick the ball far.
I'm really excited for Najee Harris.
I'm aware you were yelling pretty loud during the draft about it.
He's a big guy that can run the ball. He can catch the ball. He can do anything you want. He's Le'Veon Bell on steroids. He can do anything. Anything.
Can't kick the ball far. He can't kick the ball far.
That's why we drafted
but the
a punter.
Can. Yeah,
yep.
Exactly.
The least person
that automatically makes him a Super Bowl team.
The least person I'm excited for is Isaiah Loudermilk. I thought that was a reach in the fifth round.
Loudermilk.
Taking him in the fifth round. I thought that was a reach because I honestly had him graded as a seventh round talent. So I thought that was a bit of a reach.
Why did you grade it as a seventh round talent?
Because he can't get off the block quick enough. He's not fast. Quincy Roche, taking him in the sixth round. I had him graded. If this was a normal edge rushing class, I had him fourth or fifth round graded. Dude's got speed. Dude's got ability to rush off the edge. He's incredible at run defense. He's good. And the same thing with Dan Moore, probably Cedric Green, probably Dan Moore more than Cedric Green. Or Kendrick Green, sorry. Kendrick Green I had kind of around him. Dan Moore, if this was a normal class, I think both of them really, if this was a normal O-line class like it always is, they are second round talents. Both of them went third and fourth. Both of them would be second round talents if this was a normal O-line class.
Interesting. Interesting you say that.
So I think we did pretty good. We hit needs. Huh?
Steelers did all right.
No, we did good. We hit our needs that we needed, and that was it. You guys took Devontae Smith. I saw a video of him at training camp so far.
Yeah, he dropped
where he turned and he dropped the ball.
Okay.
Man, does that explain the Eagles receiving drafting? What if Devontae Smith comes out and just flops?
He dropped one ball at rookie minicamp.
You know who hasn't dropped a ball? Najee Harris. He caught one-handed behind his back.
Yeah, in rookie camp.
Our running back is better than your starting wide receiver at catching.
That is false. That is absolutely false.
It's the truth.
I'm gonna go to the Eagles draft now.
You're not going to the Eagles draft?
The Eagles traded with the Dallas Cowboys in the first round
to select Devontae Smith, wide receiver out of Alabama.
To select the Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith, wide receiver out of Alabama. I was just very excited when we picked this man. How we really did it this time. All right, now I'm going to go fast through the rest of them. Landon Dickerson in the second round, Milton Williams in the third, Zach McPherson in the fourth, and then Kenneth Gainwell in the fifth. Then we got Marlon Pelotu, don't really know how to pronounce that last name, Teron Jackson, and Jacoby Stevens in the sixth round. And then we got Patrick Johnson in round 7. Now
you got it right the first time.
No, I know it says Zach, but it's pronounced Zach, from what I've heard.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was Zach.
At least that's what he wants to be called.
I was going to say, that's what they called him at the draft night, Zach. Zach McPherson.
Yeah, but I really think Howie did a good job on this class.
Well,
I don't. I mean, I've seen a little. How?
Top 10 worst drafts.
Top 10 worst drafts of all time.
Tell me when you have drafted Mini Gronk, okay? That's what people are calling Pat. Mini Gronk. That's mini Antonio Brown.
Yeah, we got Landon Dickerson, so.
Yeah,
sorry.
fuck you for that.
I was a little pissed about that, to be honest.
So was I.
Literally right before we had a pick.
There were a couple picks I got pissed at that were taken from us.
We got a starting left guard and Jason Kelsey's replacement after he retires.
After Jacob talks about the Bengals draft, I'll talk about some of the players that I were pissed that were nabbed right in front of us.
Yeah. By the way, if anyone is watching this, you can probably find the moments that I was in agony and then joy, because in the time that Gavin was talking about the Eagles draft, the Minnesota Wild scored, and then Vegas answered 15 seconds later. So, anyways, I probably looked like I just got flashbanged for a while there. The Bungles, they answered the question a long time we were waiting for. I did not grammatically make that sentence make sense. But for a long time, the question was there. Do the Bungles take Penei Sewell or Jamar Chase? The answer, Jamar Chase, because they want to get someone for Joe to throw to.
Because they want to lose games.
They want to lose Joe.
I am still concerned. I will go ahead and say it right now. I like the Bengals draft for the most part, except once again, for the second year in a row, we needed more offensive linemen than the 2 that we took. But aside from that, it's pretty good overall, and there's some guys I'm hype about. Excuse me, 3. We actually took 3 offensive linemen, so slightly better. But anyways, we traded back in the second round to get a lot of draft capital, which honestly I didn't like at first, but after a while I liked it some more. I forget who the Patriots traded up to draft, but they traded back with us about 11 spots, I think. And we or 8 spots. I can't do math. I don't remember. But we needed a lot of depth when you're a team that is not winning games regularly like we have been. You need a lot of depth, especially when the injuries hit you hard. So I'm not too mad about just using our 4th round picks. Second round, we took Jackson Carman, the offensive tackle out of Clemson. I didn't really like that pick at first because with that offensive line class, there were still a lot of big names on the board, and I really wanted to nab one of those guys. Carman seemed like a bit of a reach, but he seems really excited to play in Cincinnati. He's actually from Fairfield. And he just seems like one of the guys I've seen that's super excited to be actually in Cincinnati. So I love the guy already. Joseph Osai, 3rd round, steal out of Texas, edge rusher. 4th round, we took 3 picks. We took Cameron Sample, defensive end out of Tulane. We took defensive tackle Tyler Shelvin out of LSU. The Bayou Bungles continue. 4th round, offensive tackle Deontay Smith from East Carolina. 5th round, we took the first kicker out of the draft, Evan McPherson. And by the way, he has a boot. He can fucking kick it.
Yeah, our kicker, our punter's better than your kicker.
I'll kick your ass.
I'll punt your ass.
But it was there's a video of him kicking a football, and it was like
what? There's a video of him kicking a football.
Let me finish. Like up into some stands or rafters or something, and there's a Gatorade bottle there, and he kicks it so it like spins the lid off of the Gatorade bottle. It's sick. But in the 6th round, we had a couple picks. We took Trey Hill, center out of Georgia, and then we took Captain America himself, Chris Evans, running back out of Michigan. And in the 7th round, we took edge rusher White. So we hammered offensive line, kind of we hammered backer core, which I think worked out this part. We needed since we no longer have Gino, we no longer have Carlos. What's so damn funny?
We took.
Where'd it cut off?
It didn't cut off. It just sped you the fuck up.
Oh shit! Damn. Yeah, I'd have laughed too.
Spitting bars.
Straight bars, bro. Yeah, I lost train of thought there. But
you were talking about Gio not having any more good players.
Yeah, we don't have Gino, we don't have Carlos, so and we lost Ryan Glasgow recently-ish, and DJ Reader got hurt, so we needed a defensive lineman. I'm not mad about it. I think it was a good decision for the most part. Bringing a new running back out of Michigan after Gio moved on to Tampa. I like the draft for the most part. I'm still concerned about the offensive line. I hate to be the guy that's been saying it for years and continues to say it, but it's been an issue for about 5 years now, and it's better than it was last year, but we have to protect Joe, and I am excited to see the guys get out there. We do have a new offensive line coach. Frank Pollock is supposed to be a really strong offensive line coach, so hopefully he can get some more out of the guys that we didn't get last year. But I have concerns, but we'll see what happens. Overall, I like the draft, but I want more in terms of the offensive line department.
Yeah, so a couple guys that were stolen right in front of us that Pittsburgh could have easily traded up, probably gotten. I don't know. Landon Dickerson was one of them, who I thought could slide to Pittsburgh in the second round. Asante Samuel Jr. was the one that slid to the Chargers, who I thought we could get. Jeremiah Wusu-Komora.
Yeah.
Cleveland traded up to get him specifically because they probably knew we were going to take him. He had that heart disease that came out draft day, so that's what pushed him into the second round.
That's what it was.
Yep.
Didn't know that. I just saw the slide.
DeMar Hamlin was up there for a while. I would have loved to see him in Pittsburgh. Coming from Pittsburgh to play in Pittsburgh would have been nice. Paris Ford is he was never taken. He was never taken. He was an undrafted free agent. I don't even know where he went. There's a couple undrafted free agents I'm pretty excited for. Shakur Brown, I think that's how you say his name, cornerback out of Michigan State. There's another one. I don't remember his name. Isaiah McCoy, I think it's who it is, wide receiver out of Kent State. And then there's another corner. I don't remember his name. But I'm excited to see how the draft class turns out. I think they're looking pretty solid right now. They've got some heavy numbers to live up to with Quincy Roche going to the 48 for Bud Dupree. Kendrick Green going to 53 with Pouncey, and now Najee Harris with 22 at running back. Obviously, 22 is at a cornerback position, but I won't say that guy's fucking name. William Gay was the last one that was good. Huh?
Steve Nelson?
No. But I think this draft class has a lot of hype behind it, and I think they could live up to it.
We'll see. It is a weird year for it.
Yeah.
So much upside, and yeah, it's a whack season.
I'm excited for next year's draft too, because we're gonna get a third round for Bud Dupree most likely.
Oh yeah, comp picks. I keep forgetting those are a thing.
We don't have a fourth round next year because we traded it for a fifth round this year that we used. So we don't have a 2022 fourth rounder, but we'll get a compensatory third rounder. So
we will probably have 3 first-round picks next year.
Yeah, it's your guys's, the one you get from Indianapolis, the one you get from Miami, right?
We get from Miami, yeah.
Who'd you trade to Miami?
That was part of that draft, the swapping.
Oh,
early
yeah.
Niners.
To drop back to 12.
Yeah.
Because Miami was at third, dropped back to... How'd that trade play out
again?
They went 3, 12, 6.
That's right, because you guys were at 6.
Yep.
Man, could you imagine if you would have just stayed at 6? You wouldn't have had to trade to Dallas to get your guy.
Yeah, but they got a draft pick out of it, and they took a guy they were probably going to take anyway.
True, but you could have gotten Jalen Waddle.
No, we could have.
If you stayed at 6, and there would have been a slight chance if the draft would have played out differently, you could have got Jamar Chase.
Well, we couldn't, but that's not how it ended up happening. And honestly, I'm fine with Devontae Smith over Jalen Waddle. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like we needed a Devontae Smith type receiver more than we needed a Jalen Waddle type of receiver.
Someone who's skinny,
who's skinny and long and knows how to catch a ball.
But yeah, you guys could possibly have up to 3 first-round picks. Did you guys didn't get a first-round pick in the Wentz trade though, right?
We got a second that can turn into a first if he plays.
If they make playoffs.
Yeah, if he makes playoffs.
He plays more than 75% of the snaps.
Go! Sorry, Vegas scored. Let's go.
Yeah, that very well is going to turn into a first.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. 3 first-round picks. When's the last time a team has had 3 first-round picks? The Raiders?
Last year, the Dolphins.
Dolphins didn't have 3.
Yeah, they did. They had, they had the 18th, I think. I feel like they did.
They had 2. They took a defensive end and they took a wide receiver.
They took a quarterback too. They got Tua last year.
Oh, the year before that.
Yeah, I was talking 2020.
Sorry, yeah, I guess 2021 would be 2020. They took Tua.
They took a lineman, a safety.
Oh, you might be right.
Hang on,
because they had ours. They had our pick for Minka.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had their pick for Tua.
And the Texans.
And the Texans pick for Larry Tunsil.
They took the fifth. They took Tua with the fifth pick. They took Austin Jackson with the 18th pick. And the Noah Igbenogany, I still can't pronounce his name, with the 30th pick. They took a corner out of Auburn. That was part of a trade back with Green Bay because Green Bay traded up to get Jordan Love.
Yeah, you're right. So they did have 3.
Yeah.
And then I think the year before that, the Raiders did, because that's when we took Devin Bush, and they took 3 questionable players. One of them was Josh Jacobs.
They took Jacobs. They took
Clinton Farrell out of Clinton Farrell out of
Clemson, right?
Yeah.
And the other dude.
It was another dude.
Was that? No, it wasn't Darren Waller.
No, Darren Waller. Believe it or not, Darren Waller was a Raven. Can you imagine? Darren Waller was a Raven at one point, and then I guess they split ways, and now here he is in Vegas, just fucking shit up.
He is just really emerged over the last however long. I mean, I'm guessing that entirely based on the fact that I didn't really remember him before 2019, but dude's a fucking monster.
One thing that every NFL fan can agree on is that Darren Waller is the 3rd best tight end in the league.
I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think. Kelsey and Kittle.
Yeah, it's Kelsey, Kittle. Switch those two as much as you want, but for me, Darren Waller is going to be at 3.
So you don't think Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Eric Ebron,
no, they're all
Hayden Hurst, Mark Andrews.
Unless there's an elite tight end that I can't think of off the top of my head who's like the current equivalent of Zach Ertz besides Darren Waller, I think I got to agree with you.
I don't know.
He is a monster.
I think Eric Ebron is probably the best tight end in the league. You don't think Gronk's better than Darren Waller?
Not anymore.
No, I think he's good enough with the cast around him.
Austin Hooper?
No.
Butterfinger Evan Ingram?
No.
Dallas Goedert, TJ Hawkinson, Noah Fant, Kyle Rudolph. Those guys aren't better than him. Honestly,
Hawkinson's up there.
Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts could be better than him.
I think Kyle Pitts could be a top offensive weapon in this league.
I think Kyle Pitts could probably be better than Kittle and Kelsey. So here's my argument behind. We're running over an hour, but we honestly can go for how long we want. Here's my argument with the Kelsey Kittle interchangeable. In my opinion, they're not. It's okay. Kittle at 1, Kelsey, then Waller. I guess reading through the tight ends, there really isn't that many competition for Waller. And then there's a pretty big gap between those 3. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of like that's them 2. Waller's kind of on his little island, and then there's a fucking everybody's on the mainland down here.
I mean, yeah, it is like it's Kittle and Kelsey, tier gap, Waller, tier gap.
Yeah. But Kittle can do it all. Catch, block. He can do everything. He can do everything with Jimmy Garoppolo. Look what Kelsey's doing. Look what Kelsey's doing with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and who's better, Jimmy Garoppolo or Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes.
On the Super Bowl.
Patrick Mahomes. I think Kelsey's good. I just think
Kelsey's great.
When Kelsey's great, but when Alex Smith was there, I don't think everybody was talking about Kelsey being the number one tight end. Granted, Gronk was still kind of in his prime at the time, but nobody was talking about, oh, Kelsey's better than Gronk.
I think it was also with the context of it, too. I think Gronk was going insane, and Kelsey hadn't been in the league. I mean, by the time Mahomes was there, he was a veteran, of course, but for those first 3, 4, whatever years that he was in Kansas City, Gronk was playing out of his damn mind. I think the thing with Kelsey was just, at first, was just consistency, like his streak of 1,000-yard seasons. And then he just started becoming explosive after Mahomes showed up. But I think I agree with you. I am as big a Kelsey fan as anyone. I'm going to the same school as he did. Trust me, everyone in Cincinnati fucking loves Jason and Travis Kelsey. But Kittle is just that dude. He's an absolute monster as a tight end in the league. So I think it's relatively close, but Kittle probably would be my number one tight end when he's on the field, of course. Did it goof again?
No, Kevin's face. He's this close to the camera and he's going.
I'm just.
He was like zoom. He was in his own little world.
I'm zoned.
He hates the idea of Kelsey not being number one.
Hates Travis Scott. Travis Scott is not the number one tight end in the NFL.
He didn't give me the Travis Scott burger.
I think that's where we're gonna end it. Tell us what you think in the comments or text me or whatever. You have our social burp. You have our social medias. You know where to comment on YouTube. Tell us who's better, Travis Kelsey or George Kittle. Leave it in the comments down below. And as always, we'll see you in the next one. We might try to do a whole episode dedicated to schedule predicting.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about the schedule release.
Yeah, we kind of got a little in too deep. The schedule released, so there you go. We'll kind of get into more in that later, probably next week or so. Kind of do a schedule predictor. But until then, we'll see ya. Peace.
Bye.
Bye. Go Birds.
George Kittle's number one tight end.